Hey guys, welcome back. Orbom here, bringing you our draft recap of the Competitive Pokemon League CPL Season 2. Yes, guys, it's about that time. It's time to get hyped. All right, it's time. We're back to draft league format. We got a couple of rule changes, and just because I am the leader as well as Fugu of the CPL, I'm gonna go over them really quickly. So couple things. I'm probably gonna release like a video at some point explaining the CPL and probably have it go on everybody else's channel. But until then, I'm gonna just do this for now. CPL only has 12 people this season. That's big. Only 12 people. We're gonna make the season a lot shorter than it was last season. So you get 11 weeks of battles, and then we'll have the two weeks of finals, semifinals, and finals. Now, last season we did get kicked out by Deneki. That's my fault. Kind of didn't feel like prepping, didn't feel like doing much of anything for that battle. I wasn't in the best position at the end of the season just because of school and work and just utter exhaustion and other personal things. But we're back this season. We're back to take the cup, and we got new drafting format. Now, before we did OU, UU, RU, and NU. But because there's PU an official tier, and I didn't feel like drafting for PU now, I decided that we're gonna do 4 OU Pokemon, 4 UU Pokemon, and 4 RU and below, where you can choose anything else, pretty much. Now we did 444 because this is the competitive Pokemon League. We are the CPL. This is gonna be way more competitive than other leagues out there because we focus on the competitive aspect. We don't play Wi-Fi. In my opinion, Showdown is much more competitive than Wi-Fi is, because of damage rolls and things like that. And I wanted to make sure everybody had multiple good Pokemon, so I didn't have anybody complaining about how their team sucks and that's why they're losing. Because I had that last season. I don't want to hear it again. So 4, 4, and 4. What else? What other new things are there? Oh, and this time, instead of making BL like the ban tiers a tier below, so they wouldn't be banned anymore, we decided to keep them the same. So BL Pokemon do count for OU instead of UU this time. That one's just because we are drafting 444. It'd be a lot more fair if that was the case. Randomized tiers this time. It was completely random every single draft order so that we could keep it at true random. Nobody could complain. Nobody could plan super ahead. You draft to counter other people's draft. That is how I draft. That is how I believe people should draft, because in a draft format, you're drafting to counter people and at the same time fixing your team so it's usable. So I'm going to go over my draft. Of course, everybody will be uploading battles on Saturday. I'm gonna have the link to the spreadsheet, I believe, if I can get it locked. I'm gonna have the link to the spreadsheet below so that you can see everybody else's teams, everybody else's Twitters, YouTube accounts, things like that. We'll update it as time goes by. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Orbom. Be sure to follow the CPL on Twitter at CPL Real League. Follow my man Deneki, he's in control of the CPL Twitter. Follow my man Fugio, he's the co-creator of the CPL. And let's just get into it. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, so let's just go over the Pokemon I drafted. Of course, if we had to draft Toki Kiss, what I did was that each contender last season got to keep one Pokemon. Any Pokemon they chose, they got to keep for the following season. I, of course, chose Toki Kiss because Toki Kiss, as you guys remember, last season did so much work. And people that are new, because we did get 3 new players. We got my boy Poish. I had a Wi-Fi battle with him recently on his channel. He's a great guy, awesome friend. We have my really good friend Trick of Aces, who's also an amazing battler. We've done multiple free-for-alls with him on his channel and on mine. And then we have Crimson, somebody who actually tried out. We had a couple tryouts this season, and out of all the players, I believe Crimson is the most appropriate for the CPL, because the CPL is more than just battling. It's also, a healthy environment. We don't like to have a lot of inappropriate or scummy people in this league. So it's a healthy environment that's full of competitive players, and Crimson fits that very well. So Crimson is new on the CPL too, but we still have, if I can go run down the list really quick. We have BrotherGoo. We have, of course, Fugio. We have Deneki. We have Nyx. Okay, excuse me, phone. I need you to pull it up for me. We have Demonic, we have Sheer, and we have Tom. I think that's it. I think that's oh, and of course Rain. We can't forget Rain. So we have all of them back in this league. So for a total of 12 people. And remember, next season we will be doing tryouts again. And I do want to try to get in as many new people as possible. We'll keep the champions and all that stuff. All that good jazz. You guys know how it is. But we're gonna go over Toki Kiss really quick. You guys know what Toki Kiss does. He's really versatile. He can defog. He has the magical yellow color. He has Baton Pass, which he can pair really well with Nasty Plots. He has a lot of really good special attacks. Flame, just to name off a few: Flamethrower, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam. I don't know why. We'll do that. We'll keep it like this: Dazzling Gleam. If he has Serene Grace, you can combo that with stupid things like Water Pulse. I've actually had somebody battle me with a Parafusion Toki Kiss, and I was really upset with them because they were making fun of my mascot. Alright, you got things like Aura Sphere. Let's go over his list. Extra Sensory. You never want to use Extreme Speed. Grass Knot. As you can see, he's really versatile with his attack options. So if I ever want to do, like, I don't know, an Assault Vest Toki Kiss with just a bunch of a bunch of special attacks for coverage. This thing does get roost for recovery. Magic Coat to block Stealth Rocks and stuff like that. Psyshock, Reflect, Light Screen, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Seismic Toss if I want to run no special attack investment. Tri Attack goes really well with Serene Grace. Any sort of HP, including things like HP Fire, HP Steel, Ominous Wind to go with the ancient power if I want to run a ghost version of it. Those are all sorts of things. Yawn, Sweet Kiss, stored power if I want to do Nasty Plot stored power with the Roost and Thunder Wave, things like that. So Toki is very versatile. I am going to try to make this video quick. I did do a lot of talking about the CPL. So we have Mega Scizor. The reason why I chose Mega Scizor is because I can still use regular Scizor with Choice Band. I can do something gimmicky like Choice Scarf, Metal Coat, Leftovers if I want. But if I ever want to do bulky Scizor, you're better off using Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor's defenses are through the roof. His special defense really decent. His HP's up there. He's got attack. He's got things like Bug Bite, a Bullet Punch, Defog, Roost, a U-Turn. I'm going to go ahead and just go through the attacks. U-Turn. What else? Knockoff, Superpower. Just off the top of my head, those are like his really good moves. He does get Technician, so you can run things like Aerial Ace, Brick Bait if you don't want to Brick Break if you don't want to run Superpower. You don't usually want to run a special Scizor, so I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna do that. Pursuit for pursuit trapping. Things like Quick Attack for that Technician boost if you don't want to run Bullet Punch because of resistances. Rest, Sleep Talk, Swords Dance, of course. Tailwind to support the team. Toki Kiss also gets Tailwind. I'm trying to think of anything else. Double Hit, not really the best option. Iron Defense if I want to go full bulky. Toxic Stall. I can do a lot. I have a lot of options with Mega Scizor. We have Garchomp here. Garchomp, as you guys know, my favorite set to ever run on Garchomp is the Rocky Helmet Endure set to punish physical attackers such as the likes of Mega Lopunny, Fake Out Mons, Mega Medicham, things like that. But I've also found a new love for Scarf Chomp. Scarf Chomp hits hella hard with attacks like, let's just go through the list. Earthquake, Brick Break, Crunch. If I wanted to go for Draco Meteor over Outrage, I can. Dragon Claw, Dragon Tail, Fire Fang, Fire Blast. These are all really good coverage moves in OU. Poison Jab for the fairies, Shadow Claw, Rock Slide, Stealth Rock. He's my Stealth Rocker. He can run Swords Dance. Swords Dance Salic is another fun set I like to do. If I want to be stupid, I can do Giga Impact for that insane hit. Iron Tail for even more damage on fairies if I felt like missing. Sandstorm because it gets Sand Veil. It also gets Rough Skin, which is the main reason why you want to run Rocky Helmet Chomp. So yeah. And then my final OU pick was Mew. You guys know how much I love my Mew. Mew is one of my favorite Pokemon to use. I don't use it that much anymore, but like, what can I tell you about Mew? Mew can do a multiple amount of things. Defog Will-O-Wisp. 4 attack Life Orb, Flame Charge, Swords Dance, Baton Pass, like any item, it can really do well with Synchronize, so I can stop people from toxicking me, or I can threaten them from toxicking me or Will-O-Wisking me. It gets Heal Bell, it gets Defog, so I have 3 Defoggers in the team right there. Stealth Rocks, as you can see, it has an insane move set. Anything and anyone, or I guess anything that's ever been learnable by Pokemon, Mew can learn, as long as I, make sure the right generation and all that stuff fits. I could do Metronome if I want to be gimmicky, Transform, things like that, Trick Room, all that good jazz. That is my OU team. By the way, guys, please comment below what you guys want me to nickname my Pokemon. My Toki Kiss will always be named Chari. You guys know the backstory about that. If you don't know, I don't know, I can make like a Q&A video someday. Chomp, Mew. Now, for UU, I wanted to get Lucario. Unfortunately, Demonic got it before me, so I had to go with Entei. Now, the reason why I like Entei so much is because Entei is a little bit stronger than Lucario on the physical attack side. It's definitely bulkier than Lucario. Unfortunately, it's got a Stealth Rock weakness, but we have literally 3 Defoggers right here, so I'm not too worried about it. And you can run Choice Band at E-Speed. He works a lot like Dragonite in that way. I can also do Calm Mind because the special attack is 90 and special defense low. So if I ever want to do like a bulky Entei with Calm Mind, it's a really plausible set. I've seen people do it and I've seen people success with it. Flame Charge to increase my speed. Lots of special attacks. Lots of Iron Head for fairies. Lava Plume for burning. Overheat, of course, is there. Shadow Ball is there. Stone Edge. Of course, you do want to run things like Bulldoze, Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed. Those are all the main sets that you see with Entei. You can also do Substitute just to make sure your opponent can't knock you out. Snarl to lower their special attack. Rest Snore for the flinching. He does get Flame Charge to increase speeds, as I said earlier. It also gets Reflect. There's a lot of options with this Pokemon. Body Slam to Para. I like Entei. Entei's a cool Pokemon. It's got 115 attack, 100 speed, 115 HP. It's really bulky. It's a really interesting mon. Crowdon is here. You guys know I love my Crowdon. Adaptability Crowdon was one of my favorite Pokemon to use in UU when it first came out. Choice Banded Crowdon with my Thunder Wave and Trick Room support that I have in the team with Mew and Toki Kiss. And then Mew can also use Trick Room. Thunder Wave support goes really nice in my team. Assault Vest if I want to do that, but there's no real reason to. This is a Glass Cannon. I could do Scarf, I can do Dragon Dance, but with adaptability, it's one of the hardest hitting knockoff users in the game, if not the hardest hitting one. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it's the hardest hitting knockoff user in the game. It gets priority like Aqua Jet. It can go for Waterfall or Crab Hammer. Waterfall is there to flinch, Crab Hammer is there to crit. It also gets Swords Dance in case I want to go a less fast route and a more just completely sweeping with Aqua Jet, or if I paralyze the whole team. I could go with things like Crunch. Special attack's not the worst in the world, but I guess you could use Go Special with Crowdon. I mean, Crowdon's special attack is not bad. Base 90 is not that bad. It gets Taunt. Taunt is nice. X-Scissor, Toxic, Counter if I want to do Focus Sash Counter. And whatever else there is, I guess. I mean, it's got a couple options. I like it. It hits hard. Whirlpool for trapping, all that good jazz. Ooh, man. Binding Band Whirlpool Mew is going to be fun. It's going to make people mad. Let's go ahead and find my next 6 Pokemon. We got Reuniclus, another Thunder Wave user, another Trick Room user, a great Psychic type mon. It's got Overcoat. I got it so that I can deal with any sporing Pokemon such as Amoonguss and Breloom, because as you can see, my only grass type here is Cacturne. Everything else about Amoonguss and Breloom does do really well about me, but with Overcoat I don't have to worry about any Sandstorm, Hail, Spore. I can also run Safety Goggles like I did last season. It's got Regenerator and Magic Guard, so it's 3 amazing abilities. Life Orb can be run if I'm using the Magic Guard set because I won't take the recoil damage, and its special attack moveset is insane, just like its stats. With that base 110 HP and 75 and 85 defenses, I could run max defense, max HP with Calm Mind and Trick Room. I can run Thunder Wave, Calm Mind, Psyshock. It gets Recovery, it gets Energy Ball, Explosion if I just want to get out of there, Focus Blast, Knockoff or Tech, I suppose. Psyshock, Psychic, Recover, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. That's pretty much his moveset as far as useful attacks go. You can also do any sort of HP hidden power. Another Defogger, And another Pokemon I really, really liked in UU, which did recently get moved up, but as far as like both Zapdos and Quagsire go, they don't belong in the proper tiers, of course, but their usage, they just recently changed, and their usage isn't like too, I mean, like Smogon's based on usage, and both Zapdos and Quagsire are not the greatest league Pokemon, so we're gonna keep them here for the time being, and I might change it. I might change drafts week 2 or 3 depending, but I don't think this is going to be too much of an issue. Zapdos is here for defog and volt switching. I can also baton pass if I feel like my opponent has too many ground type mons or too many volt absorb mons, things like that. It also gets things like Signal Beam. It's not the most versatile Pokemon, but it is another Tailwinder, it is another Thunder Waver, it is another Defogger, it is my volt switch Pokemon, it is my discharge, it is my discharging mon, Thunder, it can use Rain Dance, Ancient Power, things like that. So it's not as versatile, but it's relatively bulky with a really good special attack stat. We can take advantage of that with Choice Spark, Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, Life Orb, things like that. We have a Quagsire here. Quagsire is here for Unaware. My team can be set up on pretty easily, so I like Quagsire's Unaware ability. Also, Water Absorb is really nice for my team too. As you can see over here, there's not too much going on as far as, you know, taking water hits. Crowdon doesn't count as a resist because Crowdon's frail. Everything else, like if you had a Keldeo, you could spam Hydro Pump, but if I were to run a max defense Quagsire, it does pretty well. I'm walling Keldeo if it has Water Absorb, but you're mainly here for Unaware. It does get things like Toxic Infestation, which is one of my favorite sets. You could also Scald Burn, Earthquake, it gets Ice moves, Encore, Focus Blast. I mean, the attacks don't really matter so much, but it does get Seismic Toss if I really wanted to get some consistent damage. Substitute so I don't get Toxic. Bulldoze to lower speed for other Pokemon. That's about it. I could do Safeguard to get off some chip damage. Whirlpool, Water Pulse, things like that. It's got some options, and that's what matters the most. Exploud is here. I like Scrappy Exploud. I also like Soundproof Exploud. If I'm fighting somebody that really likes to use attacks such as Hyper Voice, like if I'm fighting a Mega Gardevoir, this completely walls Mega Gardevoir, completely walls Pixelate Sylveon, because Soundproof means they can't damage you with water or with a Hyper Voice. It's a really good substitute mon combined with Soundproof. You can also run Scrappy if there's a lot of Ghost type Pokemon. For instance, I'm probably going to be using this against any Sableye I find. I'll use Focus Blast with Scrappy. It'll hit them for super effectively. Things like that. It's a really good special attacker. It's a really good physical attacker. It works either or. You usually want to run this Pokemon special because it has the attack Boom Burst, because with Stab, that thing hits like a freaking truck. It also gets Surf, Crunch, Double Edge, Earthquake, Extra Sensory, Fire Blast, Fire Fang, Fire Punch. Like its move set is insane because it's a normal type Pokemon. It gets a lot of coverage, and coverage matters when it comes to League, so you want to be able to kill everything, and you know, things like that. Cacturne is here. He's another Water Absorb mon, another Pokemon that can do well against Volt switching Pokemon. As you guys saw last season, he did a lot of work. Cacturne managed to take out 3 Pokemon in a battle against somebody, and Oko to Heatran, which is it's pretty decent if I do say so myself. But Cacturne's interesting because he gets Water Absorb. I like Water Absorb a lot. Sandveil is there too. If I feel like I'm about to fight a Sandstorm team, I can still Focus Sash him because Sandveil means I won't take any of the sand damage. And I could do things like Swords Dance or Nasty Plot. I believe it gets Nasty Plot. It does get Nasty Plot. Its move pool is pretty decent, both special and physical side. As you can see, it's even both ways. I can also do things like Cotton Guard, as you guys saw last season. Oh, I'm not Cotton Guard. Never mind. Why did I think I got Cotton Guard? Spiky Shield. Spiky Shield is there. I can do Rocky Helmet, Spiky Shield, Max Defense with Spikes because it is a Spike setter. I do really like the Spike set when it comes to Cacturne. Destiny Bond is another option so that you can take out anything with you. You can Encore, Giga Drain, Grass Knot, Leech Seed. You can do Sub Leech Seed, Spiky Shield, Seismic Toss, Sleep Talk, Substitute, things like that. It gets Swords Dance to help with your Sucker Punch and Drain Punch, as well as Seed Bomb. It gets Counter if you're running defensive. There's a lot of options when it comes to Cacturne, and that's why I really think Cacturne's a great mon when it comes to leagues and lower tiers. You have Ambipom here too. Ambipom is here for Technician Fakeout. I'm setting up my draft to essentially pretty much always sweep with Scizor or Entei. This is MPL. You guys will see that in the next video. Swizzor, Entei, or Crowdon will always be able to sweep late game, sweep late game, which is why I have spikes, I have hazards, I have Rocky Helmet users, I have Spiky Shield users, I have Fake Out users. This is a really, really fast Pokemon with base 115 speed. I could do Fake Out Last Resort if I only wanted to do that. There's no real reason to use Skill Link. Double Hit only hits twice anyways, and Double Hit is better off using Technician with. But Double Hit is another Pokemon, another attack that's really, really good on him. Knockoff, U-Turn, it's another U-Turner. It's another Baton Pass user if I would just feel like having safe switches without having the fear of taking Rocky Helmet damage or anything like that, rough skin damage. Nasty Pot, Power Up Punch, it gets Pursuit, it's a nice Pursuit trapper. It's another Thunder Wave user, which is also important for my team, and it's overall a great mon. So those are the 12 mons we are doing. Oh, I also forgot to mention, I'm no longer you Houstonian Hoopas. I am actually, oops, oh, don't look at that, don't look at that, I messed up. I am your Houston Megahorns this season. We got a new logo thanks to my brother Goo. It looks really nice. I like it. And I was looking at a Mega Heracross and I was like, Mega Heracross is a cool Pokemon. I'm the Houston Megahorns this season. And that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Get hyped for the CPL. It's coming and it's coming soon. Be prepared for for I believe June 11th. For the first video to be uploaded, as well as everybody else's channels. Be sure to check my my recommended channels. That does have all the CPL contenders in there, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.